Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius June 2, 2022. Fuzzy thinking may not be productive today, but it can be enjoyable with Venus and Neptune coming together. This transit encourages you to relax and escape the mundane. You can successfully bring more beauty, warmth, or imagination to your daily life. Personal magnetism, especially due to your mystique factor, runs high. Others naturally gravitate to you, but consider that you don't have to answer all requests even if you are in high demand. You recognize the need to feed your spirit and imagination today, and you may not be very content with the duller aspects of your routine. The more whimsical or inspirational the activity or fantasy, the more appealing right now. You're prone to romanticize or glamorize your relationships or situations and people in your life. Of course, this requires some caution, but you're also in need of some fantasy and escape, or perhaps a more imaginative approach to your everyday life. Rituals of love are always a plus, so don't feel obligated to harness today's energy for the sake of a significant other. Then again, you're incredibly gracious at heart, and it's not every day the moon joins forces with your planetary ruler, Venus, and Neptune in Pisces via your 6th house of daily rituals, due diligence, and acts of service. Having said that, if you're already romantically attached, you could feel inspired by your love for someone and perhaps offer them a sweet gesture in the process. Something as simple as paying it forward or doing something kind for someone you love goes a long way. Try to keep your head above water. As the moon glides through watery Pisces, you could have moments where you may feel like you are drowning throughout your workday. In 1 second, you could be standing in a shallow pool of work, then the next moment, you may be struggling to keep up with task after task. Since the moon also sextiles Uranus in Taurus, you may find that moments of stress showcase your immense power. You secretly hold the power of tenacity and determination, which will present itself when the going gets tough at work. Be careful of getting into battle with your partner about your finances, because their ammunition is just as strong as yours. More than likely, you will underestimate the power of your opponent, and before you know it, that person will have you caught in their own mental trap. Insisting that you are right about everything is most likely going to result in a difficult gridlock in which there is absolutely no exchange of useful information at all. Think of your conversations as friendly banter instead of all-out war. You are in a state of siege in your own home and in your family circle. People are criticizing you constantly and you feel you're doing everything wrong. Take time to reflect before retorting, because they could actually be right on some points. If you react in a sober way, your family will regain their trust in you very quickly. You could power an entire city. At least you're not experiencing any shortage of energy. Quite the opposite. You're going to be bouncing off the walls today. You find the idea of meeting new people difficult, not really something you want to contemplate. If this is actually how you feel, then far better to wait a while and reflect on what you really want to achieve. When this is done, the idea of dating has a realistic purpose with much higher chances for success. You will find yourself in an especially affectionate and loving mood today. Your romantic nature is heightened and your feminine nurturing qualities are strong. You are extra sensitive and receptive, and you might find that you have no problem communicating your truest feelings to others. Connect with other women that you feel especially close to and enjoy an evening of intimacy. You may be spoiled by today's vibrations as they're speaking only of you and in the best of terms. This is a time of renewal, discovery, and new centers of interest that will be as varied as they are pleasant. Professionally, things will be better. You just need to harvest the good news. Sentimentally, you will only have to breathe in the sweet smell of happiness. What more could you ask for? At the same time that Venus and Mercury are working to keep the focus on things close to home and the Sun is working to keep the momentum going from a playful new moon, you have reached an important few days on the job front. This moon's first visit to your work sector before the Sun's return was always going to be a chance to start lining up, but it has returned to find the dwarf planet Ceres here. An alignment today is giving you a window into Ceres' first deep dive into your needs and priorities on the job front in 4 years. The moon's departure from your romantic sector yesterday may have brought the new moon here earlier in the week to a close, but the sun continues to shine on matters of the heart and all things romantic. With Mercury turning direct tomorrow in order to make his way back, and Venus, the planet of love, just over 3 weeks away, the most romantically charged weeks of the year are still in front of you. Our eyes in the sky. Yesterday, we experienced a major emotional shift in energy that set the stage for today's aspect, but that doesn't mean today will be any less emotional. This energy that we're collectively experiencing is going to soften hearts and allow us to believe in the goodness of others. Your altruistic side could push you to donate to a charitable or humanitarian organization, but it's important to be careful. You could find that you've been deceived or haven't heard the whole story about the group. In terms of love, this is one of the dreamiest times of the year, and we all want to dive into deep emotional waters. You won't want to come up for air, preferring instead to be lost in your feelings and live in an unrealistic haze. If you're an artist, this is a lovely day to embrace your talent. Ideas can flow freely, and you might find that you're able to produce more than usual. Let the creativity pour out of you today. The moon is quiet in Cancer and making no major planetary aspects today. When we see this happen, it means that the moon is void, of course. As many astrologers say, the moon isn't working, so neither should you. This is a time when you can sit back and reflect on the past in order to understand where you're going. Allow yourself to be at one with the universe and take a step back to relax, and you could find that things work out in your favor. Something you might want to do is start your spring cleaning. A void, of course, moon is a great time to go through boxes, toss out clutter, and get organized. It's also a wonderful time to add some self-care to your day. If you long to get a massage or do some yoga, schedule an appointment or go to a class. We should guard against arriving at simplistic conclusions. Psychic impressions can be mistaken for solid truths without fact-checking. We believe we simply know something without doing our due diligence. While our intuitive impressions might be on target, we'll deprive ourselves of crucial intel if we think we have all the answers. The best use of this transit will be to decry our expectations and put ourselves to work in a research capacity. Logical investigations can help us to gain valuable insights. Secrets may be divulged which provide a new awareness of our surroundings. Conversations with those in power enlighten us about our own unconscious motivations. No matter what the circumstances, this promises to be an interesting day. Before noon, the Cancer moon aligns with Chiron in Cancer, poking a raw nerve. We may now feel especially self-conscious and, subconsciously, we fear setting ourselves apart from the herd. In youth, our uniqueness and individuality might not have been supported. Paradoxically, in adulthood, the best way to champion our insecurities is to face them head-on. Through self-declaration, we offer our inner child the encouragement we lacked. Taking action might still feel awkward, yet the more we practice, the better the reception we receive from others. They, in turn, take a play from our book, as our courage demonstrates that they are equally capable of advocating for their independence.